Thank you so much, everybody. Thanks for coming out. It's nice to see you all. I'm very happy to be here. I'll be even happier when I get this cord out of the mic stand. There we are. Hell yeah. The last relationship I was in, there was cheating, first by her, but then by her again. And after that second time, I was like, you know what? I have my pride, okay? So I'm sorry, but I'll date you for 2 more years. And then we got to reevaluate this relationship. When it comes to dating, a lot of guys are wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. I'm more, would you like to listen to Wham in my van, ma'am? It's a little different. Wham is a band from the 80s. I'm not sure everybody knows that, a couple people. Also, I don't own a van. I'm leasing with an option to be a creep. 2 more payments. Let's tint those windows. My first concert was Bon Jovi. So far, I've referenced Wham and Bon Jovi. Real man's man on stage. Alpha energy. Yeah, first concert was Bon Jovi. I was 12 years old. My mom took me. It was also the first time I ever smelled weed. I kept asking Mom to put the joint out. She was like, shut up, nerd. I drive better when I'm high. All right. My bad, Melinda. You're awfully aggressive for a person who's actively smoking a joint. This is confusing for me. I grew weed last summer, yeah. I grew weed on my patio. I used a special brand of fertilizer called White Privilege. Have you guys? Anybody heard of that brand? Oh, it worked. Those plants grew tall and strong and oblivious to the plight of other plants. Didn't give a shit. I sold a bag of weed to one of my friend's wives the other week, and after I sold that, and the next time I saw my friend, he told me he was leaving her. And I was like, I'm so sorry, man. Did my weed break up your marriage? And he said, no, but it didn't help. And I was like, I'm so sorry. You know what would help right now? I got a little weed for sale. I don't know if maybe that'll take your mind off of it. The guy who made my sandwich yesterday hit me with, how has your day been? Not how you doing, not how are you. How has your day been? It's more specific. So even though I didn't want to, I felt more compelled to engage in the conversation. So I said, fine, I work from home. I just got off work. And he said, so this is the first time you've been out of the house all day, huh? I wanted a sandwich. I didn't come here to have my loneliness put on display. I'm pretty sure that isn't Mike's way, sir. And then the woman who rang up my order at Jersey Mike's described my sandwich as heavy. She was like, that's a heavy sandwich. I said, I'm an overachiever. Mind your business. And then she handed me the sandwich. Heaviest sandwich I ever held in my life. I couldn't believe it was all mine. Sometimes for work, I have to track down people's obituaries. And as you can probably imagine, some of them are very weird. I read this paragraph in one the other day, and I quote, although her later years were marked by isolation, Lois enjoyed reading her Bible, frequenting local discount stores, and surprisingly watching the Discovery Channel's Naked and Afraid. I don't even know where to begin with that, but I will tell you that the next time you're watching Naked and Afraid, or if you find yourself naked and afraid, take a moment to remember a lonely, cheap woman named Lois, because her family clearly didn't give a shit if they okayed that obituary. It's the saddest thing I've ever read. I had an uncle who liked his meat cooked rare. When he died, he wanted to be cremated. Irony. Considering how he liked his steaks cooked, I suggested we just brown him a little bit on both sides. But we honored the family's wish and ordered him well done. Cooked him all the way through. Delicious. All right. 10 more jokes about death, and I'm out of here. Have you ever seen a new cemetery? I saw one recently. Just 6 headstones and a lot of potential. This was in my hometown, so I stopped to see if I could recognize any of the names in this skeleton patch. A couple minutes later, a lady came by to put flowers on one of the graves. I turned to her and said, "Won't it look nice when they fill this place up?" All right. Maybe that's the last death joke I'll tell tonight. I'm kidding. I've got 10 more. I heard a radio ad touting the nutritional benefits of pork skins. Maybe it is time to end the human experiment, you guys. I think we're done. I eat pork skins, but I have never opened a bag and thought, these will be a good source of protein. I eat pork skins for the same reason anybody does. I hate myself. Pick a lane, pork skins. Pick a lane. At different points in my life, my grandma and my mom both told me the same thing. They said, "Tony, there's always been somebody in our family who's drunk or high." And I was like, "Okay, Mom, I get it. I'll step up." Do both. I'm a recovering alcoholic, and I knew I had a problem for years before I told anybody, but people knew because I was being an alcoholic, you know. I left some clues. You can still find some of those clues in courthouses around this state. Pay attention to the file cabinets. I'm in there. Some recovering alcoholics would say, "I can't call myself a sober person because I drink non-alcoholic beer." They're going to be shocked when they find out I'm doing heroin. Please don't tell them. I think we romanticize alcohol a lot, including in the titles of movies. These are actual names of documentaries about alcohol. How Beer Saved the World. Neat, The Story of Bourbon. Scotch, A Golden Dream. Documentary titles about my drinking wouldn't sound so hopeful. Mine would be, I Have a Problem. Neat. Four Loko, The Reckoning. Jägermeister, Just Do Meth. That's my favorite one too. I like that one a lot. Thank you. After 5.5 years without a drop of alcohol, I relapsed. That's the kind of support I'm looking for. Hell yeah. Last time I admitted this on stage, standing ovation. That's the wrong type of encouragement. So thank you for not applauding my relapse. That's very kind. I relapsed because I wanted to see if the taste of alcohol had changed. You guys, it's so much better now. Oh my God. Honestly, whoever's making the alcohol, good job. Including the fine folks at SteelString. Hell yeah. Google Maps is concerned about my well-being. I got an alert that said, "You visited 4 bars this week." If only Google Maps knew what I was doing in those bars. Stand-up comedy. Oh my God. It's tragic. All right, I shouldn't have done that joke. Clearly, you know, you write them down and you're like, eh. And that one should have never been written at all. Thanks for bearing with me on that. I'm getting older, and sometimes when you get older, your younger friends make fun of you. I had a birthday recently, and one of my younger friends was like, "Hey, Tony, how's your midlife crisis going?" Midlife? I'm 49. If there are 49 more years of this, unsubscribe. That's a fun suicide joke. Thank you for laughing at that. When a suicide joke bombs, it hurts extra. So thank you for the laughs on that one. I don't like the way I look. Beautiful people have symmetrical features. I am asymmetrical. I've got a big mole over here. I've got this deformed ear over here. My left testicle's bigger than the other two. Oh, mathematicians here tonight. Some mathematicians and visual artists. I knew this was a smart crowd. I can always tell. I'm in therapy. Some of you are like, thank God you need it. I don't disagree. I've been in therapy for a few years, and it has definitely helped. I highly recommend it, but I'm still skeptical, mainly because the third time I ever met with my therapist, she recommended I use essential oils. You know, basically admitting that all her skill and years of training weren't going to be enough to help your boy. Apparently, I needed performance-enhancing drugs. I had never used essential oils before. I didn't know what to do. I drank it. It didn't make me happier, but my pee smelled like chamomile, and that was delightful. My therapist is a genius for that one. This wrist tattoo is an acronym of something my therapist said the second time I ever met with her. Second therapy session of my whole life, she said something that resonated. I went right out, got it tattooed. So when I went back in for that third therapy session, I showed her the tattoo, explained it, and my therapist goes, Tony, today we're going to talk about impulse control. And boundary setting. All right. That's fair, Mary. Those are fair points. I got in an argument with my veterinarian, well, my cat's veterinarian, and one of my cats had a breathing problem. So I rushed her down to the vet's office there, and right away they basically demanded that I get my cat a rabies vaccine booster shot. And I was like, I'd like to focus on the fact that my cat is barely breathing. Can we handle that first, doctor? And then, separate of each other, the vet's assistant and the vet both presented me with this scenario. I declined the rabies shot. They go, okay, but if a bat gets in your house and bites one of your cats, you're going to be in a world of trouble. I said, if a bat gets in my house and bites one of my cats, I'm going to be in a hotel. Because my cat is now a vampire, which means that house is cursed. So I'm out of there. The vet wound up giving me nasal drops for my cat. The vet's instructions were, yeah, it's easy. Just tilt her head back and put one drop in each nostril. Boop, boop. She actually said, boop, boop. Have you ever put anything in a cat's nostrils other than cocaine? Cats love cocaine. It actually chills them out. Don't Google that. Getting these drops in my cat's nose was impossible, so now I've just started saying boop, boop about other seemingly impossible things. Like, yeah, it's easy. You just provide universal health care and eliminate police brutality. Boop, boop. Sounds simple, right? By the way, I have no proof that cocaine makes cats relax. Do your own research. Don't trust me on that. And don't trust me around your cocaine because it will disappear every time. I had a daily cocaine habit for a couple years, and like most coke addicts, I loved it. I loved it so much. Big fan, yeah. People usually talk about the downside of using cocaine. But without it, I would have never worked up the courage to steal from my family and friends. That was made possible mostly by cocaine and a few grudges I just couldn't let go of. All right, I'm Tony. You guys are great. Enjoy the rest of the show.